Hello and welcome to the transcription explanation of this design. It is yet another variation of the always try to be nice but never fail to be kind, laugh hard, run fast, be kind rendition quote thing that I have done quite a few times now. I'm really happy with how this one looks. It is designed to be a calf tattoo, and honestly, I think it would look really good as a calf tattoo in this orientation, as well as flipped upside down. This orientation. I think either way would work. I'm going to have it flipped this orientation for reading through it because this is the orientation where we have our start markers actually at the bottom. And I did some fun stuff with the sentence structure with this as normal with this design. I really wanted to put a hexagon in here and really feature the hexagon because I haven't done much hexagon circles lately. But yeah, let's go ahead and read this. So here are our start markers at the bottom. And, size-wise. This is sized to be about 12 inches by 6 inches. Minimum for the calf tattoo to get the fine line work without becoming smudgy, but that should be quite doable on a calf. A calf is about 12 inches long, and especially a wider calf would be 6 inches, or it would just wrap around more. So here's our start markers. This is two start markers at the start of this one word, and that is because we have kind of two branching sentences here. I did take some artistic liberties on the sentence structure as well as using order of the sentence structure more than connecting words. So like there isn't the word but in here. If anything, it would translate to remember, hate is always foolish, remember, love is always wise, but with the same remember, so it kind of works. So anyway, starting at the bottom, our first word is this one. We have a shallow divot with 1, 2, 3 dots. That makes it an R. I'm going to say things like divots and dots, and that refers to the key above me. If you see the third row, how there's a little shallow divot or like a bite taken out of a cookie in front of that. That's the shallow divot that I'm talking about, where a deep divot's in the top row, and then there's full circles that are inside the word circle, that's in the second row, and the bottom row is the circle that crosses the line of the circle. So here we have a shallow divot with 1, 2, 3 dots, making it an R. Then we have an E centered inside that letter stem. So R then E. And here we have something funky. We have this double circle. See how there's two kind of thick circles here? That means this is a double letter. And because these are the same thickness, that means it's the same letter twice. And there's 1, 2, 3 lines that end on them. So that's a double M. But there's this vowel. Normally vowels are read after the consonants, but because this vowel has a slash through it, it's brought one letter in the stack ahead. So instead of an MME, it's an MEM. So RE, MEM. Then this is a BE, shallow, deep divot, so top row with no modifiers, so first column, and then the E centered, and then another R. So there's remember. And then if we read this way first, which is kind of typical reading order, is to try to go counterclockwise. H has 2 lines, A outside the word circle, T is a shallow divot, no modifiers, E is centered on the line of the word circle, so hate. I has a line going inwards, this shallow divot has 1, 2, 3 lines, that's the is. A outside the word circle, 1, 2, 3 dots on this L, so these dots are kind of sneaky. You have to know that this is closer to this, even though there's 3 sectioned off from 2. These 3 actually go with this one because this one is way too far away from this one to count. So there's the L. Actually, do I want to make it a bit more obvious? That one counts there. Because I don't like sectioning off a 3 and then 2 when it's actually a 2 and then 3 that's supposed to count. Okay, and it's important that this A isn't directly in line with that L, because if it were, then you'd read the L and then the A. So this A is centered at the bottom, then this L is more over here. Okay, and then we have a W with 2 lines, A outside the word circle. This Y has 2 dots, and this S has 3 lines, 1, 2, 3. And then this F has 1, 2, 3 lines on a deep divot. Here are 2 O's inside our word circle. The L has 3 dots. The I has a line going inwards, and then an SH is a shallow divot with 2 dots. So there's foolish. And this is a period at the end of this sentence. So then I'm going to go back to the other start marker. Remember, bottom counterclockwise, L 3 dots, O, V, shallow divot 1 line, E, I line going inwards, S with 3 lines, so love is, A outside the word circle, L with 3 dots. These 3 dots go here because they can't go with the line one. A W with 2 lines, A outside the word circle. This Y has 2 dots, and then this S has 3 lines, and then W has 1, 2 lines on it, just like this W with 2 lines. This third line crosses it, it passes through it, and lines that pass through do not count. Only lines that end on the letter stem count. So these 1, 2, 3 lines count here because this line actually ends there. So WI continuing around SE, and here's again that period on our sentence circle. So that's our first bit. Remember, hate is always foolish. Remember, love is always wise. I could have put a little but in between the two, but I feel like this symmetry is nice and I wanted to go with that. Then we have this other start marker starting our next chunk. Starting at the bottom, A outside of our word circle. So this is in an unraveled style. So we have a word here, a word here, a word here, then the word in the middle. A outside the word circle, L with 3 dot, a W with 2 lines, A outside the word circle, a Y with 2 dot, and then the S with 3 lines, space, T with nothing, R with 3 dots, Y with 2 dots, and then T shallow divot, nothing on it, and then an O inside, so always try to, and then this is a deep divot, so that's the B and then the E centered. This took a little bit of fiddling to get to make not look like anything other than a B, like this shallow divot could be a T, so T, then a B, then an E, because I'm playing with inverting light, and, I mean, I do the same thing here. Here's another B done exactly the same way. It's something I like to do with B's, and here's another really weird B. It's a deep divot with the E. But yeah, I figure that if I do the trick once, you'll figure out again, and then you'll figure out the slight modulation on it. So, always try to be, and then continuing kind of where this is looking, plus the next thing inwards and counterclockwise is this word starting at the bottom. We have an N with 1 line on it here, which we can actually connect up. There we go. N with 1 line going inwards on the I, 1, 2, 3 lines on the S, and then E. And yes, in this script, the original script, there was no letter C, so to make it go, you'd put an S on it, instead of the letter C, and I wanted the letter S here to link up with the B, plus, I'm using a little bit of my artistic creative liberties here. Well, okay, it's not even artistic creative liberties, it's a callback to the original script to use the S instead of the C. So N-I-S-E, and then we have this here. Maybe I put a punctuation mark. Always try to be nice. Yeah, we should put a comma. We'll put a comma on it. We're gonna steal this for a comma. There. Now it's got a comma. Nice comma. B, U line going outwards, T, shallow divot, no modifiers, space, N, E, V with 1 line, E, R. These are the 3 dots on the R. They're kind of running away, but I really wanted to make this nice little dot pattern between the dots on the R on never and the dots on the L on fail. We know they can't go with the F because the F already has lines. You can't have both lines and dots in the same letter. It could look like punctuation, especially with the A out here and it being kind of in line with our sentence circle, but, there are 3 dots on the R and there are 3 dots on the L, and having it say never fail makes more sense than nebbit exclamation part F-A I exclamation part mark J. But yeah, so those are just dot modifiers that I did sneaky things to. So let's talk about fail. Fail has some crazy stuff happening. I used line thickness to indicate that you read the A before the I, because I really wanted the I stacked inside the F to make the lines less crazy, so I could just have these 2 nice little lines doing their thing. So F, and then vowels come after the consonant, so we have the A and the I, which would be together, except you read them thin to thick, so this thin one, the A, is right before the thick one, the I. And then here we have a full circle inside the word circle with these 3 dots. There's fail, T, shallow divot, and then O, internal, so fail 2. And here's another B, deep divot with an E. And then we have kind. K has 2 dots on it, so K, I line going inwards, and then this ND is 1, 2, 3, 4 dots on a deep divot, so there's kind. Then we have these. It looks like it could read to this one if you're just going what word is next, but if we look at this as its kind of own independent thing, we have our sentence circle here, bottom of the sentence circle counterclockwise. We have this L with 3 dots, A outside the word circle, U line going outwards, a GH crossing the line with 1 dot, so laugh, And then H has two lines on it, 2 lines on the H. A outside the word circle. The R has 3 dots. And then D has 3 dots, so there's laugh hard. Here's another kind of sneaky thing. I put the word run inside the F on fast. Here is a word circle, and the bottom of the word circle is a shallow divot, and there are 1, 2, 3 dots, making it an R. The U has the line going outwards. This F is the N has 1 line. So R-U-N, run. F has some sneaky lines. There's this curvy line making this swoop. There's this straight line here. There's this curvy line making this swoop. So that's 1, 2, 3, making it an F. The A is here, the S has 1, 2, 3 lines, and then the T is here. So there's fast. And then here's another weird B, bottom counterclockwise. Here's a deep divot, and then the E. And then K has 2 dots. I has only going inwards, and then an ND has 4 dots. 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, that's that design. All of this junk here, this hexagon and broken circle crap, is all irrelevant to the actual translation of the design. One could call it a send circle if you wanted to be extra about it. But yeah. No, you still need to be part of it. Weird. I don't know. But yeah. So that's that design. It's mostly these bits, which path, stroke to path, I've turned red, are irrelevant to the translation. Path, stroke to path, there. No. Path, stroke to path. EP, okay. So yeah, these bits are not necessary for the translation. Everything else pretty much is, so bam. So this would be good if you wanted a slightly simpler tattoo and then to flip this upside down for a calf tattoo. Except then it looks kind of weird, I don't know. I feel like it looks much better with the extra circly bits. Bam. I think that looks much nicer. More like kind of like a star map or something, kind of like a dream catcher or some like, I don't know, mystic symbols. Yeah, I like it. I hope you like it too. Thanks. Bye.